Sigma. Good evening, weary traveler.
Wait a minute, that's my line.
And welcome to the Into the Shadows tournament. VoiceoverGuy, why don't you take them through the rules?
Most certainly, good sir. Let us begin. The Into the Shadows tournament comes with 3 rules of play. I shall list each one and then give a full instructional and demonstration so that you can practice now and be ready to play on the day. Rule 1. Best of 3 game rules apply. Rule 2. The entire match will be played in singleton. Rule 3. The first game is to be played as a Fog of War custom, the second as standard, and the third can be played as either Fog of War or custom on agreement of both players, or a dice roll if no agreement is reached. Now, for those who may have a bit of trouble understanding exactly what is meant by these rules, I am now going to give you a nice clear instructional with full demonstration on how everything works. Stay tuned for more information. Rule 1. Best of 3 game rules apply. How to play best of 3. This is incredibly simple. Win 2 out of your 3 games to go on to the next round. Lose 2 out of 3 games and you are no longer in the tournament. Simple. Moving on to the next round can be achieved in 3 different ways. 2 victories in a row, defeat, victory, victory, or victory, defeat, victory. Rule 2. The entire match will be played in singleton. How to play singleton. Singleton means you only get 1 copy of each card, no exceptions, and this means for all 3 of your matches. If you wish to have more than 1 deck, all of your decks must still have 1 copy of each card. You will be required to create a custom deck specifically for the tournament. Here's a demonstration on how to get that done. Reach over your shoulder, grab using your middle finger button, and pull towards your front to bring your book out. Now using your right controller, press the furthermost thumb button to bring up your card decks. Pick the Create a Deck packet and grab with your middle finger button and pull away from the other decks. Sit it next to your book so you can see it clearly. Now to put a picture on your deck, long press any card on your book. Now in the section that says Deck, click on it and type the name Into the Shadows so that you know that this deck is specifically for the tournament only. Now pick 1 copy of every card you would like to play. It can be any cards you like, including the 50 new cards that are coming out on the 27th of March. Once you have 1 copy of each card, click Save. However, what happens if you can't find the Create a Deck button? Well, then it would appear all of your card deck spaces are being used. It's time to recycle a deck you don't like or never use. Grab your deck with your middle finger button and put your deck next to your book. Click on the name and hit the delete button to clear the old name and type in Into the Shadows so that you know that it's your tournament deck. And now click on the right side of the list to remove each card individually. Once the list is clear, you can start loading up 1 copy of each card until you have 40 cards ready to go. Be sure to look over your list. If you find you've doubled up on any cards, or even tripled up, simply click on the extra cards until the number shows 1 copy. Now if scrolling up and down is too tedious for you, allow me to demonstrate a little Easter egg that the developers have cheekily added to the game. Move your card deck to a higher position, and click on your wrist sundial. Then click on the Props button and grab yourself a tankard. Either one is fine. Make sure to have yourself a drink. You've earned it. Apple juice. Delicious. Now turn your tankard upside down, holding it by the handle closest to the end of the tankard. Now bring the tankard up to your face and look through it like a telescope. You can now see your entire list of cards without even scrolling. Why, isn't that clever? Once your deck is completed and saved, you can now test your deck against Mulligan and see how it will fare against him playing a normal deck against you. This will allow you to figure out which cards work together and which ones don't, and change them about accordingly. Once you are satisfied that your deck is completed and ready to go, grab yourself a tankard from the props menu And don't forget to offer it to our good friend Count Scapula. Here you are, old son, drink up. You're not just wasting away, you're on the clearance rack of existence. Rule 3. The first game is to be played as a Fog of War custom, the second as standard. Third can be played as either on agreement of both players or dice roll if no agreement reached. How to play Fog of War. Click on your wrist sundial, then click on the props button. Up the top on the right of the tankard button, click on the book icon. This shall load up a bunch of preset books. If you wish to collect other preset books, you can purchase them for 100 gems each. Click on preset 1, and this shall bring up a book. Pick up your book and place it where you can see it. A wild Bulba ace appears. Now the first thing you want to do is press the reset button to clear existing presets. Then scroll to page 7 by tapping the arrow. Once you reach page 7, simply press the bottom 3 buttons to select them. Now click the save button to ensure your customized items stay put. Now grab your book with your middle finger button and drag it over to your table's right corner. On the corner of the table you will see a design that looks like some sort of graffitied tattoo. Lower your book over the tattoo and it shall light up with neon colors. Release your book and the lights shall remain. This signifies that your custom game is ready to begin. Now place your Into the Shadows singleton deck into the PvP portal. The other player's option shall change from Play Easy AI to Play PvP. Now they can also put their tournament deck into the PvP portal, and now your Fog of War game is ready to begin. Hooray! Now whilst in Fog of War mode, you shall not be able to see your opponent's cards, and nor will you be able to see their warriors on the board. By the same token, your opponent shall not be able to see your cards or your warriors either. Now while in play, your opponent's characters remain hidden to you. However, you shall still be able to clearly see your own, and your opponent can clearly see their own. For a better understanding of how that works, here's a side-angle view. Now, while you can't see your opponent's warriors, there will of course be subtle giveaways as to what their cards might in fact be. For example, this warrior had floating feathers cascading around it, indicating that it is in fact a flight character, most likely a bird, which shall allow you to defend against them accordingly, as all players know that you can only defend against flight creatures with ranged. And for those who are not playing the game, but simply watching from the outside, all cards and characters shall be obscured from the spectator's view, meaning all characters have indeed gone into the shadows. Now that we are aware of how to play Fog of War, let's go over Rule 3 again, this time in sequence. Round 1 shall be played in Fog of War mode. Round 2 shall be played in Standard mode. For Round 3, if both parties agree to Fog of War, it shall be played as a Fog of War custom. If both parties decide they do not wish to play Fog of War, the third game shall be played in Standard. If one party decides on Fog of War, but the other party does not wish to play Fog of War, then the decision shall be made by dice roll. To get a dice, click on your wrist sundial, go to Props, click on the dice section up the top of the menu, and then click on D20 dice. You can now grab it out of the air. You will need to find an authorized third person, such as a moderator, to ensure a fair roll. The third party shall be required to roll the 20-sided dice to make the final decision. If the dice lands on numbers 1 through 10, the third game shall be played in normal mode. If the dice lands on numbers 11 through 20, the third game shall be played in Fog of War. So there you have it, weary travellers. You now have a full and complete instructional on how to compete in the Into the Shadows tournament. Be sure to create your custom singleton deck ready for the tournament and practice it against Mulligan, or choose a friend who can practice their singleton deck against yours, allowing you plenty of time to be ready for the tournament. The prize pool is currently sitting at a whopping 24,000 gems. 12,000 shall be split between the top 3 contenders, and the other 12,000 shall be split evenly between 17 spots below the top 3. Now the prize pool shall be divided as follows. first place winner shall be taking home a whopping 6,000 gems. The second place winner shall be taking home a very formidable 4,000 gems. The third place winner is going to be taking home a tidy 2,000 gems. And 17 runners-up, that is every position under first, second, and third place all the way down to number 20, will be getting 700 gems each. Never has your opportunity to win been so high.
This gives you a greater chance of receiving gems in the tournament. Go forth, weary travellers, and I shall be joining you for the tournament on the 29th of March at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. Be sure to jump on a half hour early to sign up for the tournament, and even earlier if you'd like to be interviewed on my live stream, which shall most likely be starting about 1 to 2 hours before the tournament, so that I can chat to people about their plans and tactics leading up to the event. Also, stay tuned for Scottish Jesus' live stream, where he shall be giving an in-depth and technical view on how the games are being played. I look forward to seeing you there, weary travellers, as we all venture forward into the shadows.
Join us for the Into the Shadows tournament, Saturday 29th of March, 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. VoiceoverGuy VR.